Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. We're doing something a little bit different today. I wanted to come on here and talk to all of you about the fact that one of the things that I wanted to share kind of like a get to know me video, but I also wanted to talk a little bit about niches here on social media and on different platforms, and how I don't think that that serves us as creative people, and just kind of talk about what I hope that you can expect from me moving forward. So my name is Ricky. I run Star Moth Press here on YouTube and Instagram and a couple other places. I believe my shop name is still Moth and Magic on Etsy. I have a small community on Patreon, and I did not ever think that I would start a YouTube channel. I'm not very comfortable. I'm okay with public speaking, but I'm not very comfortable talking to people, and it can be kind of nerve-wracking for me, but the journaling community has been really supportive and really, honestly, one of the better communities that I become a part of online, as far as like support and connection and just showing up for each other. And number one, I wanted to thank everybody who does that. And number two, I wanted to just talk a little bit about myself. I spoke in a previous video about my mental health issues, about how I'm diagnosed bipolar. Last year, I was diagnosed with ADHD. I'm 34, so I lived quite a few years without knowing that, and it has, kind of going back through the years and mapping things out, it has made me realize that it has affected a lot more than I would have thought. And then I also am a recovering alcoholic. I have been sober for 5.5 years. And even though I don't attend AA or a program specifically, it's something that I've done with my own inner support network. It is something that's really important to me, and something that has led me to my creative practice as a whole. So just kind of wanted to give you a little bit of background. I'm also a stay-at-home mom with 2 toddlers. I spend most of my creative time like in between the hours that like my kids are, at school. One of them is at school, the other one is at like a daycare / school. And then also, once they go to bed, while I'm not too tired, I try to get some stuff done. So my schedule is a little bit wonky because everything for me is fit in around them, at least like the hardcore art journaling and creating videos specifically. I don't know if you've been around mini toddlers, mine are very loud. So one thing that I've realized over the past few weeks, I shared that I was kind of going through a depressive episode, and that I was having to question a lot of the things and use a lot of the tools that I've set up for myself. And one of the things that I've realized is that giving myself the freedom to change from hobby to hobby, to change and follow my interest of like what is kind of like intriguing to me at that time, is an integral part of my practice. I'm a very spiritual person. I don't really identify with like a specific spiritual practice. I've kind of cultivated my own over the past 4 years, and I think that it's a personal thing, and I share about certain aspects of it where I can, but it's still pretty private. I'm a tarot reader. I am somebody who I taught myself how to crochet and knit, and that was kind of like a hyper focus for me because it's really the first creative hobby that took off for me. I'm a writer, I'm a journaler, I'm a painter. I'm trying to get more comfortable drawing and showing up in more artistic ways than just abstract painting. But I will kind of go through little mini phases where, there's a couple days where I am really into painting and I'm really putting out like all the painting and art journaling, because that's what feels good to me in that moment, whether that feels good to me like on a tangible level, or if that feels good just because like there's certain colors stuck in my brain that I can't stop thinking about. It is kind of like a hyper focus thing, but it is also very much just what I have like in my mind's eye and what I want to put out into the world. And sometimes that means sharing on social media. Sometimes that just means experimenting. Sometimes that means selling in my Etsy shop. It really depends on the week and the day. So like these are some paintings that I finished this week on canvas, which is something new that I've been doing. And I've been listing them in my Etsy shop simply because they're fun to make, and I'm very happy with them, and I'm proud of them, and I want to share them with everybody. But also, I only have so much space, and I already have issues with getting my space to be too cluttered. So I share these like at a very affordable price, at least what I think is affordable. And then I also offer options for trading of that sort. So that's one thing that I've been hyper focusing on recently. Then a couple weeks back, I was really focusing on my journal that I made from Megan and the Moon's tutorial, and I'm really excited to dive back into it. I think that's kind of where my attention is heading next. I've got about half of it left, but it was like really messy, no shape, no containment, just everything all over the place. Everything everywhere all at once. Isn't that a movie? Yeah. So that's kind of where my focus is heading. I'm also looking at getting into more, I've recently been researching incorporating plaster into my art practice, and I want to kind of figure out what that looks like and play around with it a little bit. Luckily, we have a couple of areas in our new home that need to be fixed, and so me and my husband are going to get plaster for that, and I'm going to learn a little bit about it. I don't know that much. But one thing that I think is important, that, going to school or trying to be a writer or trying to, trying to be an artist or whatever, is that, number one, I can't put too much pressure on one thing, because when I put too much pressure on one thing, it makes it not so fun for me anymore. That's why I stopped crocheting for a long time, is that I put too much pressure on myself to like put things out there. And, I probably was a little too competitive, or like always comparing myself to others. And that's not the kind of person that I want to be. That's not the kind of creator that I want to be. I want to show up in a space as a supportive person. So I, also think that the foundation to my recovery with alcohol and the foundation to just my mental health overall is having a myriad of things that I can turn to when things are a little bit more difficult. And I think that I wanted to share that with you guys, because I know social media, specifically Instagram, I don't know that much about YouTube, but I know that social media really tells you that you need to like hone in on your niche. I don't think that that is helpful, especially, when we are very multidimensional, prismatic people who have a whole lot of sides to us and have a whole lot of interests. We're not just one thing. We are so many things. So I just wanted to let you guys know that, as it calls to me, I might show up in this space in a different way than just journaling videos. But I am still very much an avid journaler. I journal every day. Art journaling, creative journaling, morning pages, all of it. So you will definitely still see that side. I will be sharing, more behind the scenes videos on my Patreon, behind the scenes and extra bonus content. But also, you might see other videos pop up. I'm currently training to become a Reiki master, so you might see or see videos like that, or hear me talk about that. I've been writing a lot of poetry. I write essays. I might share thoughts on that or process videos on that, and then also art experimentation and just playing around with that, and just kind of following where my passion takes me. And that's kind of what I wanted to lay out for you guys, is that I have a lot of interests and I want to share all of them that I'm comfortable with sharing. And I really want to follow whatever my focus is at a time, because that is what keeps me engaged with my creativity. I feel like that's the best way to put it. I also wanted to say hi and, like I said, introduce myself a little bit, and give you, I guess, a little glimpse into where I'm coming from, a little bit of my world. You'll see in the background my office. It's very messy, so this will probably be the only part of my office you'll ever see. But I'm not trying to like over process my life so that it appears a certain way on social media. I'm just trying to show up authentically, and making sure that I don't corner myself into one specific topic only is the best way to do that. I hope you guys stick around. Check out my other platforms, check out my Etsy shop, join us on Patreon, and yeah, I think that's it today. All right, bye.